This is Team 2's case analysis of Kellogg's, or Kellogg Company. Team members include Sanella Little, Demetris Gilliam, Reagan Cook, Drew Kagi, and Angelica Harden. Beginning with the industry analysis, our company, which is Kellogg's, or Kellogg Company, is in the consumer goods sector and in the processed and packaged goods industry. Consumer packaged goods, or CPGs, are a type of good that is consumed every day by the average consumer. So those are goods that are ones that need to be replaced frequently compared to those that are usable for a long period of time. So think milk versus computers. You're going to replace and use milk on a daily basis, whereas a computer will last you for years. CPGs are mostly consumer staples, which are products that people can't do without regardless of their budget, like the milk. And the processed and packaged goods industry is highly competitive due to high market saturation and low switching costs, meaning there's a good many companies that offer a wide variety of products, and consumers can switch back and forth between those products at ease. Companies in this industry produce snacks, confections, chocolate, cereal, packaged meat, cheeses, candy, and other ready-to-eat meals commonly found in Western grocery stores. These products are packaged in a variety of materials including plastic, glass, cardboard, and aluminum, and are usually sold in retail stores. The consumer packaged goods industry is one of the largest industries in North America. It's valued around $2 trillion, depending on which financial resource you look at. Although growth has slowed in this industry in the last couple of years, companies that provide CPGs still benefit from large margins and strong balance sheets. And if you look at the global packaged foods industry, it's a whopping $4.4 trillion market. As you can see, North America takes up a large part of that market with their $2 trillion. Now, according to the industry advisor RTS Resource, the market will expand to around $5 trillion by 2017. And this expected expansion, along with their strong margins, make it a good bet for people who are looking for a company to invest in. The processed and packaged goods industry is composed of around 35 companies, 17 of which pay dividends, according to NASDAQ.com. The Yahoo processed and packaged goods sector shows an annual growth rate of 3%, an average net profit margin of 8.3%, and an average return on equity of 23.5%. Many of these companies pay high dividends. There's emerging markets in Asia and India that show growth rates as high as 20%. So looking at all these factors, and as we mentioned earlier, this makes for a very good investment for diversification, or for any portfolio really. Now looking at the top competitors in the processed and packaged goods industry, General Mills leads the pack with $34.7 billion in capitalization, followed by Kellogg's in second place with $25.1 billion in market capitalization. Conagra Foods, Campbell Soup, Mead Johnson Nutrition, J.M. Smucker Company, McCormick & Co., Keurig Green Mountain, all of these companies make up the top members of this industry, which make up for most of the market capitalization in North America, as well as in the global industry. The processed and packaged goods industry is expected to outperform the S&P broader market substantially the next several quarters in 2015, 2016, and beyond. Mean high targets for three of the largest U.S. processed and packaged goods companies, General Mills, Kellogg, Keurig Green Mountain, are going to go from 3% below to 30% above current prices. And as we'll see while we're moving on to our company analysis, Kellogg's became the world's second largest snack food company after PepsiCo by acquiring the Pringles Potato Crisp brand from Procter & Gamble for $2.7 billion, as well as many other mergers and acquisitions in their history.
Kellogg's mission is that each day represents a fresh opportunity to share our vision, live our purpose. Kellogg's vision is to enrich and delight the world through foods and brands that matter. Their purpose is to nourish families so that they can flourish and thrive. Kellogg's business strategy is rooted in growth. The four components of that strategy are number one, win in breakfast. Number two, become a global snacks leader. Number three, grow frozen foods. And number four, win in emerging markets. Kellogg's goal to win in breakfast is made up of multiple components. The first is their product of developed cereal, such as Frosted Flakes and the Special K variety. The second is by venturing into emerging markets and generating a new culture of consumers. The third is trying to use natural and organic products in their cereal as much as they can. And fourth is looking for new consumption opportunities. Kellogg's has mastered the in the bowl idea of just cereal. Their next steps are to expand the bowl, which is to include porridge, and to move beyond the bowl, which is using protein shakes and breakfast bars, and then just moving on beyond breakfast overall by having snack foods and dinner options. Kellogg's desire to become a global snack leader is rooted in its marketing of its products as convenient foods as well as wholesome snacks, like Pop-Tarts. Also, Kellogg's has maintained its global dominance by acquiring brands such as Keebler and Pringles. These brands allow Kellogg's to become a direct store delivery option, as well as reaching new consumers on a global scale with savory snacks. By growing their frozen foods, Kellogg's can increase their frozen waffles, their breakfast sandwiches, and their vegetarian protein, such as veggie dogs and chicken nuggets without the chicken. They do this by creating brands and acquiring brands such as Eggo, Morningstar Farms, Kashi, and more. Kellogg's entry into emerging markets can either be organic or through acquisitions and joint ventures. Organically, Kellogg's has entered India. Through acquisitions and joint ventures, Kellogg's products have entered Russia, the Arabian Peninsula, and Egypt. The key to these emerging markets for Kellogg's is that they have large populations, fast-growing consumption, and have shown a foundation for long-term growth. Like many other businesses and corporations, Kellogg's has key corporate responsibility issues they like to address, such as the marketplace, where they want to develop wholesome products that are both nutritional and healthy for consumers, and placing an emphasis on maintaining product quality as well as food safety. Next is the workplace. They prioritize their employees' safety above all else and continue to maintain employee engagement through opportunities for employees to learn and develop skills. Next is the environment. Kellogg's continually works to improve their environment through impact reduction, looking for new sustainable packaging, as well as sustainable agriculture. Lastly, Kellogg's values its community, in which they give to charitable causes, maintain community development, and have an active employee volunteer program. As stated in the previous slide, Kellogg's is concerned about the environment. In 2015, Kellogg's released their 2020 sustainability commitments, which are responsible sourcing and in conserving natural resources. By striving for responsible sourcing, Kellogg's is continuing to help their agricultural suppliers improve their farms and business practices, as well as trying to identify those smallholder farmers in their supply chain and working to build programs to help them improve their livelihood as well as improve their business. Lastly, Kellogg's is searching for their women farmers and workers in their supply chain and also building programs to provide resources and education to help improve their lives and their community. By conserving natural resources, Kellogg's is trying to reduce their energy and water use by 50% and increase the number of their plants sending zero waste to landfill to 30%. Lastly, Kellogg's is trying to maintain their 100% recyclable packaging and further implement resource-efficient packaging, recyclability, and food-to-packaging ratios. At the heart of Kellogg's business plan is the 5 global breakfast food beliefs. Number 1, we believe in the power of breakfast. Number 2, we believe our grain-based breakfast provides a superior start to your day. Number 3, because grains are at the heart of our breakfast foods, we seek the very best grains, and we believe the grains are those that sustainably grow and are responsibly sourced. Number 4, we believe in providing great tasting, high quality breakfast foods that delight families every morning. And number 5, we are committed to contributing to a healthier world through a journey of continually developing better breakfast foods and encouraging a healthy and active lifestyle. In January of 2015, Kellogg launched a new initiative called Open for Breakfast. This provides a forum through social media which allows Kellogg's to create dialogues with their stakeholders such as investors, employees, and consumers. This gives them an opportunity to share their thoughts and stories about Kellogg's and their products. This initiative allows Kellogg's to better help their communities and show how they are working toward a better world through conversations.
News and events. Kellogg's to use only cage-free eggs for its U.S. operations by 2025. Kellogg's will source 100% cage-free eggs and eliminate pork suppliers that use gestation stalls by the end of 2025. Purchase of Diamond Foods? Is it a bad idea for unhealthy snacks? Well, according to Bloomberg's View article, the company is closing in on a purchase of Diamond Foods, the maker of kettle chips and popcorn, secret popcorn, and the price is being discussed is $35 to $40 a share. Kellogg's to start up natural foods for coloring instead of dyes. NBC News reports that Kellogg's company Corn Flakes and Rice Krispies are set to turn all natural soon. It is aiming to stop using artificial colors and flavors in its cereal and snack brands by the end of 2018. Kellogg's to reach new flavored Pop-Tarts. Some of the new flavors include chocolatey caramel, maple bacon, frosted watermelon, frosted strawberry, and pink lemonade. Now, Kellogg's Company U.S. brands debut new products reflecting hot trends. In a recent PR Newswire article, they said, knowing that many women are looking for wholesome, great-tasting breakfast options, Special K will launch new Special K nourishment cereals with positive nutrition and ingredients the consumer can see in the food. Now let's talk about the SWOT analysis. Kellogg's strengths. Diversity of popular products. We know that Kellogg's Company is known for its wide variety of breakfast cereal. But that is not all that this company is known for. They have a diverse product line that includes cereal, nutrition and breakfast bars, waffles, breakfast sandwiches, pastries, crackers, fruit-flavored snacks, and hot breakfast. They have a worldwide product familiarity. They have a multi-generational consumer base. Kellogg's have been around since 1906. Therefore, generations after generations have been exposed to the well-known cereal brand. Kellogg's have a large, strong workforce. Over the years, Kellogg's have reconstructed its organization workforce for the better of the company. It has over 31,000 employees manufacturing in 18 countries. Kellogg's invests in people who invest in the company. The employee resources groups of Kellogg's offer support to the employees through networking and development opportunities. This helps strengthen the business. Now, Kellogg's has a large margin in the market share as a lead. Kellogg's is the leader in the U.S. cereal market. Over the last few years, despite the increase in competition, Kellogg's has slowly increased its market share. Now let's look at Kellogg's weaknesses. Kellogg's had a disgruntled workforce. Kellogg's had an illegal lockout in 2014 to replace steady middle-class full-time jobs held by local 252G members with newly hired employees who would make significantly lower wages and receive substantial benefits. This has failed to positively influence stakeholders' confidence and public trust with Kellogg's. Now they also lead to short job tenures of leaderships. Kellogg's also have high carb products in an increasingly low carb seeking marketplace. The world is growing healthy. Kellogg's products will need to catch up to stay competitive in the industry and as a company in whole. Kellogg's funded a large amount of money to schools for breakfast clubs. This was a promotion to get kids to eat some type of breakfast to get their day started. Some people will say that this is a waste and loss due to some of the schools shut down because of financial issues. Now let's take a look at Kellogg's opportunities. They have the option to diversify healthier products. Kellogg's can also create new products to target the consumers who prefer healthy over sweets and carbs. Kellogg's has the opportunity to purchase smaller competitors that could benefit the company in many ways. For example, one is the purchase of Kashi Company. As Kellogg's management team reviewed the company's performance during the quarter and the first half of this year, it became clear many aspects of its business are not considered on trend at the moment. The purchase healthier alternative companies could increase the demands and sales. Now, they also have the ability to use already popular products and mascots to reignite popular demand. The unsuccessful plants of Kellogg's can now be used to test and produce healthier products. This could be remarkably with today's demand. Kellogg's threats. Now, organic food demand increases. Kellogg's is behind its time. It will now have to compete with organic food and the healthy trend of America's consumers. The creation of new products to stay successful. Competitors are coming up with new ideas and making new products every day. If Kellogg's compete by doing the same, this could be a threat in itself. What if the new products Kellogg's produce are unsuccessful? This is a high risk to take. Now, the growth in private brands versus the grocery generic brands. Nowadays, grocery stores have their own generic brands that are selling just as well as brand name products. If the taste of the product is similar, the consumer will more likely purchase the generic brand due to its low cost. Okay, well, the large top wages and low base job cuts spark boycotts and lockouts and strikes. According to BCTGM, Kellogg's had an illegal lockout to replace steady middle-class full-time jobs. Kellogg's lockout has really impacted the community, and their reputation is not a good look either. They will have to come up with ways to regain their employees' trust after the illegal lockout. One way is to communicate with integrity and honesty. Now, let's take a look at Kellogg's five-force analysis. The threat of entry. The industry is mostly run by Kellogg's, General Mills, and Post cereal brands, the top three companies in that industry. So the entry by newcomers is at a low. Why? Because the cost of building manufacturers and distribution centers deter newcomers from coming into the market. Brand loyalty is also a reason newcomers deter from entry. The threat of rivalry. Now, Kellogg's is a large industry, which causes the threat of rivalry to be at a low medium. The top two rivalries of Kellogg's is General Mills and Post. Now, according to the text, a firm may compete on the basis of its lower cost, which is cost leadership, or the basis of special features of products, which is product differentiation. Also, firms may choose to cooperate with competing firms, tactic collusions, and strategic alliances. Finally, firms can compete on the basis of the mix of businesses within which they operate, vertical integration, and diversification. Now, Kellogg's can compete on product differentiation by having healthier products and keep their costs at a minimum compared to General Mills and Post. The threat of substitutes. The threat of substitutes is at an all-time high. Possible main threats are on-the-go cereal and other healthy, convenient alternatives. Another threat is private label brands. Now, according to the text, a firm threatened by substitutes can reduce the cost of its products. Cost leaderships can improve the perceived quality of performance in its products, which is product differentiation, can cooperate with substitute manufacturers in joint ventures and strategic alliances, or can diversify its operations and begin producing substitute products. The threat of suppliers is low. Several distributors are available to buy products to make cereals such as wheat and grains. Kellogg's can easily go to another distributor for products. Farmers also, they negotiate prices with buyers' companies. Therefore, they have bargaining control. The no commodity control, government regulations, tradable commodity futures that must follow trading rules established by the Commodity Exchange Act of 1936. It was established in order to prevent fraud and manipulation in the commodities futures market. The threat of buyers. The threat of buyers is at an all-time high. Why? Because grocery stores and discount retailers buy large quantities of cereal and they cut the prices. This makes them have the most power in this area. Now, how can they offset it? Well, large number of customers can help keep that threat low. If customers buy the products and continue to buy it, then it wouldn't be a threat of the buyers at all.
One of the main issues Kellogg has to address is decline in sales due to change in tastes and habits of consumers. This is an issue that affects not only Kellogg, but all other cereal makers as well. This chart that we see presents results of 2011-2012 survey conducted by National Center for Health Statistics. It shows percentage of Americans skipping breakfast on any given day. As we can see, it is largely affected by lifestyle, gender, and age. According to the collected data, the largest population skipping breakfast are shown to be school-aged kids and working adults, which is most likely influenced by busy schedules of these particular age groups. This survey also indicates that, on average, males skip breakfast more frequently than females. In addition to changing habits, consumers are changing their taste in breakfast. This chart presents findings of research by Nielsen. It shows that consumption of breakfast foods with lower carbohydrates, such as yogurt or eggs, is steadily increasing over the past few years. It also shows a steady decline in popularity of cereals as breakfast choice, which for a cereal-focused company as Kellogg presents a problem. Kellogg could address these issues by either diversification by acquisition, organizational restructure, differentiation by innovative thinking, or by expansion to new markets. One of the answers to changing habits and tastes of consumers is in product diversification. Realistic evaluation of companies' strengths and weaknesses, as well as environmental threats and opportunities, is what determines its organizational planning and strategy. Kellogg's strategy from its startup in early 20th century to present is what took the company to its current place in the cereal industry. It did not include diversification until the 70s. Since 1969, Kellogg acquired multiple companies which were in business other than cereals. Kellogg acquired companies producing tea, soups, sauces, desserts, and non-dairy frozen foods, as well as several small foreign food companies. This presented a significant step away from the cereal business. This change most likely happened as a response to multiple not-so-positive events. Kellogg, together with General Mills, was heavily criticized of overcharging the consumers, resulting from holding a shared monopoly. American Dental Association accused Kellogg of obscuring the sugar content of kids' cereals. And finally, the main consumers of breakfast cereals, baby boomers, were aging, reaching age where they ate less cereals for breakfast. All of these events cumulatively resulted in Kellogg's market share dropping from 43% as it was in 1972 to 37% in 1983. Organizational change has been shown to work for Kellogg's in some events. In a response to market share decline, CEO Lamoth focused on advertising, research and development, and emphasizing cereals' convenience and nutritional value. Although this change in strategy did not give planned results, it enabled Kellogg to regain some of lost market shares, stopping at 40% by 1985. In the 90s, Kellogg's market shares dropped mainly due to not taking advantage of interest in oat bran and increasing prices, which resulted in Gutierrez becoming CEO in 1999. Gutierrez wanted to renew and strengthen Kellogg to prepare it for the 21st century. To streamline operations and reduce costs, Gutierrez reorganized Kellogg's operations into two divisions, United States and International, which resulted in creating Kellogg's stronger company. Innovative thinking and development, resulting in product differentiation and comparative advantage, can be answer to changes in consumers' tastes and habits. Consumers are more and more interested in gluten-free foods, foods with increased protein, granola, muesli, etc. Also, for a large population group, convenience is increasing in importance. Natural, additive-free ingredients appear to be more appealing to consumers today. Innovation in ingredients is also very important. Taking a new approach to traditional ingredients and experimenting with them could prove beneficial for the company. Strategic cooperation and alliance could be another approach to the solution. Great example of such cooperation is Wheaties and Fulton Beer, who used wheat as a common factor to create a limited edition beer called Half Wheaties. Strategic market expansion is another move that can provide solution to present situation, whether it is expansion in existing or entering new markets. From the first expansion to Canada in 1914 to the most recent $450 million investment in Africa, Kellogg is today present in more than 180 countries worldwide, with production plants in 18. It still leaves room for a new expansion.
There are 3 proposed solutions for the 2 major issues that we seek to address, which are changes in the taste and habits of consumers and consumers leaning towards other options, which are as follows. We could do a market analysis and focus groups. We could diversify our products, and we could also focus on improving branding. First, digging into market analysis and focus groups. Kellogg's has been marketing and branding in the same fashion for many decades, so it's very important that businesses like Kellogg's keep a close pulse of their market to be able to shift and provide new options with changing sentiments. We talk about the branding that has been done and the marketing that we typically see with Kellogg's brand cereals. So they're typically marketed towards children. They focus on using colors, they emphasize taste, sugar, and then also use some type of brand mascot, whether it's a bee or a parrot or a rabbit. Then looking further, Kellogg's would benefit extensively from market analysis and focus groups with different intersections of populations. For example, existing markets and new markets that focus on parents, children, teenagers, college students, and adults. These are the typical different demographics we see, and for each one of these specific markets, there are also sub-markets within. For example, you have college students who are athletes. You have parents who might be single parents. You have parents who have a traditional nuclear family, so on and so forth. And then also having those focus groups would give Kellogg's the opportunity to test specific products and marketing initiatives within the different markets that we mentioned before. So getting direct feedback from the folks who use or potentially use this products would help them to create a product that was satisfying more of the customer needs and demands. A second option for addressing our issues would be diversifying those products. So, in direct correlation with doing new market analysis and focus groups, you figure out the specific products that you need to provide consumers what it is that they need for their changing needs and interests. So, some of those considerations that were picked up larger in the in the research were health and nutrition, the actual cost of the products, the ease of cooking or consuming the products, and the travelability of these products. And so on the next slide, we'll dig into what some potential options for diversifying each one of those areas might be for Kellogg's. So continuing with the diversification of products, some products that can be introduced under each one of these designations are as follows. So for health and nutrition, creating products that are locally sourced with organic ingredients, some non-GMO, more yogurts, especially with the emphasis on getting more protein. Greek yogurt or other low-fat yogurts would be great options. Using whole grains, gluten-free options for those folks with celiacs, and then low carb, low fat, sugar free options, obviously for those who are concerned about macronutrition nutrients, who are dieting or have certain nutritional goals or things that prohibit them from consuming very sugary cereal, from diabetes to other health concerns. Then we're looking at cost. So discount cereals, obviously with name brand cereals, are an inflated cost. So instead of just having the one cereal that's their name brand and readily visible and recognized, also maybe doing a generic version of the same product. Then we come to ease of cooking and consumption. Of course, we are a go, go, go type of nation here in America. And then looking at other markets, they have their own unique demographics for what it is that their markets are interested in, but we see more often than not that people are looking for really easy ways to be able to cook and consume their food. So expanding the products that we offer that are frozen, that don't need to be cooked, and also products that are easily microwavable. And then, of course, travelability. We're in cars, we're on subways, we're on bikes. We want to be able to move and transfer our meals quick, fast, and easily. And of course, the traditional bowl of cereal, you can't just take that on a bike with you or in the car. You are at risk of spill. So thinking more about cereal bars, traveling yogurt, and then options for cereal cups. So with those cereal cups that have the pullback lid, in those scenarios, you have, a smaller serving, which you can eat and pair with milk when you get to a specific location. But introducing those cereal cups with the milk provided, or also silverware to be able to consume, are options and solutions that we might want to think of when thinking about how to address a market with new needs. So then we come to branding. It's really important that we think about how we're branding the products. With Kellogg's, they've been using the same type of branding initiatives for many years, and so some ways that they can think to additionally work to help them stand out to the new needs and interests of the market are by focusing on the following. So the first is position is healthy. Of course, we are a health crazed society. We have diet initiatives change almost rapidly as they come forth, whether it's the Beachbody or Whole 30 or whatever has been introduced. And so one of the things that has already been done is an example of a Special K weight loss challenge, which is cause-related marketing that has been driven into several markets. You see it from TV shows that are happening to different jobs and employers encouraging their employees to participate in the weight loss challenge. And then you look at national endorsements from health associations, all the way from Heart Association, Diabetes Association, et cetera, saying that the consumption of these products will improve your overall health outcomes if consumed on a standing basis. And then, of course, questions that people are interested in answering now about food products, which hasn't been at the forefront before, is, does the cereal have fiber? How much whole grain is present? What are the grams of sugar per serving? Are the health claims bogus or are they legitimate? What's the calorie count? Is it low in saturated fats? Will it taste good, etc.? These questions are the norm, and people want to know those. So we have to brand the specific products with answers to those questions in mind. Then moving on with this position is focus in the family. One of the projects that we've seen happen is the Family Breakfast Project, which is a campaign that states that when families eat breakfast together, amazing things will happen for their family. Of course, we are a go, go, go type of society, but a lot of people are trying to get back to those traditional family institutions, and cereal and breakfast is certainly one of them. I think if we were to go back to Leave It to Beaver, which is classic nuclear family, one of the things that they did was sit around the dinner table and have those meals together, and breakfast was one of them. And so a campaign like this would take on the changing trends of breakfast, including fast meal snacks, etc., by encouraging viewers to return to the breakfast table. Its point that being back at the table is better for families, can have um, overreaching, pervasive implications. And so, for a company like Kellogg's to be able to paint what some of those benefits would be in consuming their products or participating in a campaign like this would be really important for their brand. And then finally, positioning itself as helpful to the community or society. You eat breakfast in isolation. You don't think about what its impact on the rest of the world could be. But there are many impacts. And so one of those is box tops for education, thinking about how these cereal companies are providing monetary resources and incentives for the students and families who are purchasing and consuming their product. Other examples might be the materials that are used to make the actual box. Is it being recycled? Can you use the box to do your student science project? What are ways that we're able to innovate to make sure that whatever the product we're consuming is, or the packaging is used in a way that's helpful to community and for society. In conclusion, Kellogg's is the global leader in the processed and packaged food sector. It became the world's second largest snack food company after PepsiCo by acquiring the Pringles potato crisp brands by Procter & Gamble for $2.71 billion in cash in 2012. While it holds a large market share of the industry, Kellogg's has seen many forces that are threatening its domination of the market in healthier products. Those come from local brands, lower production costs from their markets, etc. And so the major issues that Kellogg's has to overcome is the change in taste and habits of its consumers, which has led to a decline in sales, and consumers leaning more towards convenience, grab and go breakfasts, or lower carb options like yogurt, eggs, etc. And so the solutions for Kellogg's to overcome those issues are directly related to improving its branding, differentiating itself from other brands by restructuring, growing its market, and developing its new products to meet its consumers' needs. As I mentioned before, branding is what's ultimately important for Kellogg's to do. Cereal companies have followed the same model for decades, and consumers expect much more information about their products and information on how it is that A specific cereal company provides transparency and benefits beyond the status quo that people are used to. And so, in order to provide solutions to the issues that we're going to address, Kellogg's is going to have to do a much stronger job with tapping the needs of its customers and understanding their belief systems. These are called triggers, and they're a reason that a consumer might adopt a certain brand over another. And those are directly related to health and nutrition, ease of cooking and consumption, and travelability of the product.